So, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. We are here to give you a very introductory session about doing business in Brazil. What is the Brazilian game scene about, just an overall, and to talk about the program we both run together with some export program that take Brazilian games and also organizes a big festival. So I'll give the mic to Mariana. Mariana is from Apex-Brasil, the Brazilian export promotion agency, and our greatest supporter here at Big Festival. So.
Thank you. We're going to play a little bit with your brains because the presentation is in English, but we know that our international guests, they have like a headset to the translation, so I'm going to do it in Portuguese. Okay? I'm so sorry for that. Então, como a Eliana me apresentou, eu sou a Mariana, eu trabalho na Apex-Brasil. A Apex-Brasil é a agência brasileira de promoção de exportações e atração de investimentos. Nós temos um programa hoje que apoia as empresas desenvolvedoras de games a acessarem mercados internacionais. O grande objetivo dessa fala nossa aqui é porque a gente tem no Big 120 convidados internacionais. Então a gente queria apresentar um pouquinho sobre o Brasil, sobre o governo e sobre principalmente a iniciativa de games que a gente tem. Então, na verdade, a minha apresentação é bem rápida e a Eliana vai falar as partes mais divertidas que tem a ver mesmo com o setor de vocês. Eu trouxe algumas informações bem genéricas sobre o Brasil, pode até passar, enfim, eu prefiro falar de videogame do que todos os outros setores. Mas alguns mercados como... não, então não vamos passar. Okay, so I'm switching again. Okay, so I'm going to do it in English. Okay, my brain also. So in advance, I'm so sorry, English is not my first language. I will make a lot of mistakes, I can guarantee you, okay?
You're doing great.
Thank you. You guys definitely are the best audience I've ever had. So we are the second producer of biodiesel, the fifth main aircraft manufacturer, the 11th largest IT market, the 9th largest industrial producer, the 11th largest market for medical equipment, the 8th largest market for cars, the first producer and exporter of coffee, sugar, and orange juice to the world, the 7th largest market for pharma products, the 5th largest telecom industry, the 10th largest oil producer, and the 3rd largest renewable energy market in the world. This is a little bit about Apex. I told you Apex is a trade promotion organization. We are connected to the government, the Brazilian government. Today we have a partnership with the Ministry of Foreign Relations. We have 10 different offices around the world, and because we are partnered with the Ministry of Foreign Relations, the trade promotion sectors inside the embassies are also a structure that Brazilian companies can use to develop business outside Brazil. So this is what the agency, what we do. We promote exports, Brazilian exports, products and services. We support internationalization of Brazilian enterprises. And we also have a division inside the agency to attract investments, FDI, venture capital, and private equity. What you're going to hear here with Eliana is a job focused more on the first two green squares. That's why we support different sectors from the Brazilian economy, and games is one of them. You can go.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's your cue.
This is my line. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about Brazil Games. Brazil Games is a partnership between Apex-Brasil that she just introduced, which is a federal organization that promotes exports in several sectors. In our sector especially, it's called Brazil Games. And and a partnership with Abra Games. Abra Games is the Brazilian Game Developers Companies Association. So together we run a project that make it easier for our companies to attend events like GDC, Gamescom, XDS Vancouver, even going to China Join, and also what we do here at Big Festival, all the B2B activities, including this session, including the invitation we made to buyers and speakers, is part of this program. So it's when we show Brazil to you at home. So it's very important for us that you come here and you do business and enjoy. So let me see if I can. So this is probably a slide that everybody knows. It's the global game industry, how big it is, and how big it's forecast to be by 2021. This is the reason we are working. In Brazil, in this picture, is the 30th largest game market in the world. And the Latin American game market generated $5.6 billion last year. And we are growing on a 13% annual growth every year. So it's very impressive how Latin America is growing. And Brazil is also the fourth largest consumer market in the world. Well, this is where we are. We understand that you are world travelers, so probably may have not noticed because you travel so much. We are in Latin America, right below Mexico and Central America. This thing doesn't have a light, but we are the big country. This has a pointer or no? Anyway, we are the big country over there. We have 211 million people, an online population of 142 million, and we have 75.7 million gamers registered. They are all registered. They have a certified number. I'm kidding. This is a line, historical line of the growth. So in 2018, we have 1.5 billion revenues. We have 220 million smartphone users, 75.7 total players, and then it keeps. Well, in fact, it's upside down. It's total 16, 17, and 18. Well, what are the Brazilians creating? We put some games here, not all. It's just a few games. We go to this side. Horizon Chase was one of our first and most famous success cases. Then we had Starlit Adventures, No Heroes Here. We have good cases of outsourcing, good cases of self-publishing, mobile companies, virtual reality, beyond entertainment. This is a very good case. It's called Madroom. They do an entire human body on virtual reality, so you can take a piece of the body and students can operate on it. It's very interesting. Our benchmarks are, this is just an overview, but there are lots of more games. We're just going to put everybody here. Dandara, Pixel Rippet, that probably everybody has heard, and Celeste. They were globally nominated, won many awards. This one, you have to come closer. This is Dandara. Wow, what I just explained about Brazil Games. Brazil Games is the sport program run by the Brazilian Game Companies Association, Abra Games, in partnership with Apex-Brasil, the Brazilian Trade and Investment Promotion Agency. And our goal is to promote game products and services abroad and to attract foreign investment. So this is our job, what we do, why we travel, why we invite people. And this is a map of Brazil, but this shows only companies that are members of our association. So it's not the entire map of all game companies in Brazil. You see, it's a big country, and at our games, all these yellow painted blocks on the map have companies that are part of our program. So we are very proud that we are not only represent the richest regions in Brazil, which is São Paulo and the south, but also we are supporting companies on the north and northeast and central Brazil. And well, I think this is a statement. We started 25 years ago with South Logic Studios. And then in 2004, we organized, I wasn't there, we organized the association, the Abra Games. And the industry has been like on a very steady ramp up of growth. We're happy with that. These are the events that we have confirmed attendance, like year by year. So I think it's on GDC we are attending since 2011 probably, or 10. So Kids Screen, it was our first time this year. PAX East was our first time. Big Festival, as I mentioned, it's another side of our program when we bring you here. We are developing what will be our action in Asia. Gamescom is going to be our third year, and XDS Vancouver, I think it's our fourth time. So this international program is run, it's quite young. We started in 2014, so we have 4 to 5 years exploring international waters. So it's quite young. Here are some of our games that you probably have seen. More games. Awards. More awards. Media, thanks for the media that is here also. And this is how to contact us. But before I go, I'd like to run a video. It's a reel with some of our games. Could you please do it? Yep. Actually, this was the wrong video. It is. It is a 12-minute reel about Brazilian games that we collected from our 150 companies. The video I was supposed to be showing is a 3-minute one. Where, Patricia, is this video the one video that we want to play? We don't have the other. So that's just one. Well, I think you like it. You could notice it was on alphabetical order. We were on the letter E, so we hadn't gone very long. You're gonna keep going. No problem. You wanna keep going? Anyway, let's open for questions if you have questions. Most of the people here are Brazilians. Who is Brazilian here? The majority is Brazilian. And do you all know about Brazil games and other games, or this is your first time? Wow. And yeah, for the gringos, I just want to I'm going to give you just a brief overview of what's going to happen here. Although we're going to have a more do and don't session at 4:30. Today the event is not entirely open. We just opened this room, this conference room, and tomorrow there will be more 2 conference rooms open. The matchmaking will be working. You're going to be hundreds of people coming in and out, and also the expo area will be open. So what you see today is 30% of the event. So it's going to be a lot of other things happening on those areas that I mentioned. But now that I put the wrong video, questions? You like the video? Yes. I'll give you a microphone. Hold on, because
I just want to add something regarding to the content we were showing before and the activities from Apex and what other games is doing together. Besides the events, the international events that you saw, the agency and our activities, they're more than that. We know that international market is not easy, although the game is a product that is ready to go. But as I'll give you an example about what I'm saying. Eliana mentioned Asia, and what we're doing is we don't have like an event for Asia, but Apex, we have like a huge intelligent market team. So we produce a study for the Brazilian companies know more about the Asian market. So business intelligence is something that we can also do inside the partnership that we have. And the second thing that I was going to say is we have our Russia office here with 2 companies, Russian companies. So they are, hey, nice to meet you guys. Welcome to Brazil. And we are with them showing Brazilian companies have meetings and supporting the international guests during their stay here in Brazil. So besides the list of events, we're doing quite more than that. This is it. Questions?
Stephen A. Sarch with Newsweek. I'm curious why you guys think Brazil is able to have such a unique market when compared with other regions. Because when you look at, we lump North America, Europe, China, South Korea, and all of these countries together, but rarely do we consider Brazil part of that grouping. So what, in your opinion, makes Brazil unique in its games market?
it's unique. It's Brazilian. It's unique.
Okay, I can answer that on an agency, with the government agency perspective. As we have 40 to 50 different programs, so sectors of the Brazilian economy that we support. Eliana mentioned that we start to work with them in 2014, and it was something that happened quite organically, right? We have also an IT information technology project, and we start to realize inside that project, together I think, today I think the project has 200 to 300 companies, but we start to realize that inside the group of companies, the app game, the company that produces games, they were inside and they weren't like getting the attention they need about the international market. So as an agency, we start to see the sector grow, and then we study a little bit about how many companies we had at that time, if we had an association that could help us to run the project, and then we decided to make like a really small project to test. So let's talk with the developers, let's go to GDC first to check what happened. And then since then, as also a government agency, we have like KPIs to understand if the project is running well, if we're getting results by the end of the year, and I can tell you that all the results are positive. So this is a partnership that keeps going and growing. So that's why we choose also video games inside a broad numbers of sectors to support, and also because they're great.
More questions? Yes.
There's one there. Okay, we go next. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mariana Gomes from Brazil. I was thinking, is there a program to help, like, I'm making a college of video game design, and I want to know if there's a program to help us students to get information about, places where we can get a job or experience in the area, because I'm not seeing that many, unless I'm looking in the wrong place.
Well, this is it's not only you to have that question. It's an industry that really started to boom in Brazil like in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
The studios are still small, although sometimes you're going to see that you're just graduated, but that is not exactly what a studio might be needing at that time. They might be needing a senior engineer or a senior designer. So I think it's going to be a moment where there will be plenty of jobs for everybody, but it's a curve of the industry. The studios are small, some of them are getting bigger, but I believe that there is a program. I think Jesus, are you the one that is going to run the job thing? Yeah, you want to talk about it?
The vacancies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to explain?
Hello. So, my name is Jesus. I run a YouTube channel called The Gamer Inside Brazil. We are posting 2 videos every week. One is the news from Brazilian games, indie games, events and game jams and all that, like government grants. And also we post another video every Saturday that contains at least around 10-12 vacancies from Brazilian companies, but also from companies that are not based in Brazil but are looking for applicants from all over the world. So If you are interested, it's the Gamer Inside Brazil. You look for that on YouTube and you will find it very easily. And on both sides, if you are looking for a job, send us an email. It's the Gamer Inside Brazil at Gmail. And also, if you have a vacancy, if you have a company and you are looking for applicants here in Brazil, please send us also an email, explain us what's the vacancy, what you're looking for in the professional, and all the requirements and everything. We'll be releasing a video of vacancies, specifically here from the companies who are here. So you can come to me. I will be filming the event during these days, so I'll be around. But also check the email I mentioned. Thank you.
Hi, this is Shirley. I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. To address your question regarding, this is my first time in Brazil, first time to this conference, and you were asking about what makes it unique. And to me, just listening to both you ladies' presentation, I think the sheer number of registered users that you were talking about, 75 million, and that's impressive. So that's something in a vast population here, and I think that's a tremendous potential. And I know you guys are working on getting the names out, regarding the industry. I think to a lot of investors, they're really caring about how to invest. I know the payment is a little bit pain in the butt in this region, double taxation, but you're not the only one, right? In India, they have double taxation. So making it easier for investors and for any other advertising company to come to this region, right, to monetize, and that would really help the developers, because at the end of the day, they want to make money besides making great games, right? So get that out. I remember last year at the pavilion and GDC, I've seen some really impressive talents out here. It's just they need to know how to get to the globalization and get their name out, and I think the government's help or some form of subsidization can really go there. But again, the sheer number of 75 million, that's really cool. That's a lot of potential. Thank you
For supporting us also. There's another one there.
Hi, I'm from Uruguay, and I would like to make a comment regarding other countries from the region. There's a lot of us from Argentina, from Uruguay, from Chile, and the presentation was what you guys are doing to promote Brazilian developers to go abroad and have events, etc. And I believe in our case is what opportunities, if there's any, that you're handling, do we have as regional, countries to have business in Brazil? As in, do you guys have any doors we could knock, if you will?
Where are you from?
I'm from Uruguay. There's people from Argentina, there's people from Chile, Peru, etc. So if there's any, again, doors we could knock, as in, hey, maybe we can make a co-production. Do we have to talk to you, or do we have to talk straight with our games? Who do we talk to?
Yeah, we do. I don't know if Martina is here. No? We operate with a Latin Federation.
Yeah.
It works pretty well. Like it's a small group of people trying to spread out the best and the most we can. And yes, we have been doing a strong effort at Big Festival to make it very inclusive to all Latin American countries. It has never been only about Brazil. It has been about the region. Come to Latin America because we need a light here, right? We were in the dark. So yes, and we're trying a few things. For example, at Gamescom, we are organizing something together. All the Latin countries in the same pavilion, so we're doing a network, whatever, very simple thing, but in fact, just to make to the rest of the world that we are part of a region and so on and so forth. So we are trying. We are new. We are on this international global scene, as she mentioned, and I mentioned, for 5 years with the project, with Apex. Without Apex, there were Brazilians every now and then here and there, but now we are seen as a group, as a delegation, as a country, and we're trying.
Can I'm just going to add a little bit, as a federal agency, we can help more in terms of generic information about the country, taxes and so on. And as I told you, as we run 50 different projects, we have to know a little bit about everything, but if you already have a sector in mind as games or entertainment, it will be easier to go straight to the specialists. But we can also be like one of the doors. If you're not connected to them, we can connect you to the right people. So this is something that the agency can also do.
Wow, how many hands?
Boa tarde. My name is Felipe. I am a game design student from FATEC Ourinhos, which is the countryside of state of São Paulo. And my question is if Brazil Games has any plans in doing partnership with colleges and maybe public colleges of game design.
Well, Brazil Games is an export program designed for companies and companies that are ready to go international. It's the only event that is really talking about events, right? That is really open to everybody is Big Festival. We call Big Festival the first event, the first network that you have to do before trying to knock on other doors. So this is Brazil Games, so it's not for students, it's for studios, for companies that are already export ready. Then we have Abra Games. Abra Games works with regions. There are several other associations that are state or city organized. We are a federal organization, like Abra Games is the national organization of game companies. But yes, we do partnerships with schools, with colleges. We have, for example, at Big Festival, an entire lineup for education and another one for educators that I think it's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. And your school, ETEC, you said ETEC, right? Yeah, ETEC is from the government of the state of São Paulo. They are running 1 or 2 sessions. We have, for example, partnership with IME Morumbi, which is a local university. All the volunteers that you see working here are future game designers to be graduated. So we give them their first trainee certificate of several hours. So they get qualification working for us. So we are always working, but we are small. Abra Games is a small organization, so we try the best. But yes, it's always open for schools.
Let me just add one thing. Our program, Apex and Abra Games, is designed for companies in terms of the rules we have. You have to have a company to be part of it. But I don't think is for just if you're ready to the international market. If you have a company and if you're not ready yet, you can also join. Because I think one of the things Big is really good is with the business part. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we have here 120 international guests. You don't have to travel to anywhere to meet them. You're here. So this is the first opportunity you have to interact and understand more about the international market. So you don't necessarily have to be ready. Okay.
Craig Chappell from Pocket Game Builders. What are some of the funding and investment initiatives in place for Brazilian games companies, and has this changed with the new government? Like, is there still strong support there?
You want to start?
You're asking, for the last time you were here, we were super enthusiastic about some lines of credit that were going to be available to the game sector, right? And if those are still available.
Yeah, but and just more specifically, what are those funding investment opportunities that are available now?
Yeah, we changed government. We had a big transition on the government, federal government. So some institutions that were almost ready to launch support programs for the game sector are still evaluating their mandates to see what they're going to announce. On Friday, we're going to see some announcements. I think the state of São Paulo is going to announce something. The city of São Paulo is going to announce something. I don't know if the Brazilian Development Bank will announce something. But since December, when the new government took over, until now, all those, except Apex, which is a partnership that we sign a contract for 2 years, and we can predict a little bit more what we're going to do for 2 years. The other agencies operate on different ways. So we are hoping to listen on Friday. There is a panel for public policies at 6:30 p.m. in this room, and the main representatives of those agencies will announce what they decided or are able to foster the sector. So will be the ANCINE, which is the audiovisual agency, the Development Bank of Brazil, the Secretary of Culture of the State of São Paulo, the City of São Paulo, and a few others. But we today I cannot tell you. I don't know. I don't know the.
We can also, this is, I'm going to talk like more a personal perspective and not just about the government. I'm talking about someone that loves games also and loves to meet the companies and understand what the ecosystem is doing. But I see some private investments initiatives growing. I will mention people from Brasilia. We have like a co-working design for games. We also have different companies inside, but it was created to support Brazilian game companies. And Saulo can correct me if I'm telling a mistake, but you are developing plans for the future to become an accelerator, right? So this is something that we are just at the beginning. This is something that I feel in the ecosystem. I think the promotion part is more advanced than the investment part. But as you mentioned before, it's really at the beginning. So it's a matter of time. It will happen like fast.
But just to complement, we weren't here the years before. We had 2 lines of, I don't know if I call it a grant or whatever, was money given by the audiovisual agency to 10 projects for development of projects in 2017 and 10 in 2018. That for us was really something. With that money, we could take for the first time, take to GDC 19 new games. And that line of credit is still uncertain, but there is a promise that it will come back. We will learn about it on Friday. So, and we have also, what other program? We have one from the innovation agency called FINEP that also invested in 1 or 2 companies that work on companies and not on projects. They'll be here too, and tell us more.
So, I'm a student, studying games, and I wanted to know if you can help us to make teams, find new people, because I think one of the unique things in Brazil that there is diversity, because we have a lot of diversity here. So if I want to make a game with the theme of the North region of Brazil, I think if I had someone from there, it would be a lot easier to represent it correctly. So can you help like form teams, or do you just help with
Where are you from? São Paulo?
Yeah.
São Paulo has a group called SPIN, S-P-Indies. They get together every first Thursday of the month. Who's going to talk about SPIN? No. So, and they do that. So, do you attend those meetings? No. Yeah, so it's every Thursday at Centro Cultural São Paulo. I think it starts at 7 p.m. All indie developers, garage developers, they all get together and they decide, pick out people for their teams, and they are very linked with the region, so it's the place to be. It's not not other games, it's more indie groups.
Eu posso falar em português? A pergunta?
Eu falo em inglês.
Muito obrigado. Eu sou um estudante também, e uma coisa que a gente sempre escuta muito é que a gente precisa sempre ir para o mercado internacional. A gente precisa sair do Brasil para conseguir um emprego bom, conseguir um salário bom, algo assim, sabe? Conseguir viver disso. Vocês acham que daqui a um tempo será diferente? Você pensa que no Brasil, com a Brasil Games, você pensa que sem você ter esse pensamento de eu preciso ir pra fora, não, agora eu consigo viver no meu país, trabalhando com aquilo que eu quero, sem necessidade de internacional.
You want to translate the question first?
He's asking, he's a student, he wants to know if he has to move abroad to get a job on the game sector.
You want me to answer that?
Do you understand English? Can I answer in English? What we always say to people is that if you develop a game, consider who is going to play that game from a global perspective. Not that you should be out of Brazil, but you should think what is also out of Brazil, what people are playing. So I don't know if that is the idea that you have, but some people in Brazil, yes, to get post-graduation education in Vancouver or in UK. The industry here really doesn't have as many jobs as we are putting new graduates on the market, but it's growing. It's a matter of years, and also a decision.
Well, I'm a really positive person, so I believe it's a matter of time. And I think the purpose to have a federal agency here explaining that we have a program together is to show that we believe and we invest and we are having good results in a really short time. So again, I think it's a matter of time to have like a really strong and powerful industry, so you can stay here and not to have to work outside Brazil.
Last one.
Primeiro, boa tarde. Muito obrigado por essa palestra. Eu gostaria de agradecer o incentivo que a Big Festival desenvolve dentro do Brasil. Eu estou aqui devido ao trabalho de vocês há 3 anos atrás, em parceria com uma faculdade que deu uma aula online com as apresentações das palestras que tiveram na Big Festival, e eu consegui aprender e desenvolver um pouco mais dessa percepção do mundo dos games, e vou iniciar agora no meio do ano a minha faculdade de desenvolvimento de jogos. A minha dúvida, e também foi um questionamento que eu percebi na primeira palestra de hoje, é: o mercado de games, ela tem um protocolo, uma sistematização de desenvolvimento, como eu posso dizer assim, para não ficar complicado. As normatizações de leis nos Estados Unidos são diferentes do Brasil. A Apex-Brasil, a Abra Games, ela dá esse suporte no desenvolvimento inicial da empresa. Pelo que eu conheço, ela dá orientações, ela tem normatizações, ela tem regras. O que eu quero saber é, eles têm também um aporte advocacional para o mundo do games, porque existem legislações diferentes em país. E às vezes numa cláusula no contrato específico vão ficar presos 5 anos e a desenvolvedora americana ganhando 80% do lucro do meu jogo. E você não tem como se desvencilhar disso.
Olha, acho que é uma pergunta complexa, que nem sei se você responder. Aliás, eu não entendi muito bem.
Can I first translate to the gringos and then you can answer that? He's asking, this is something I think I can help about. Other supports, be agencies or other partners can offer to the companies in terms of more legal laws from outside Brazil, because it's different if you have a contract in the US or in France or whatever. I mentioned during my presentation that Apex, we have 10 different offices around the world, and we also can join forces with the trade areas inside the embassies. So this is something that if you have a question about a contract, a legal contract, we cannot offer you the specific answer, but we can connect you to some people outside the country that can help you. So I'll give you an example. I was helping a game company to develop a contract in Europe. So I don't have the knowledge to do that, but we have an office in Brussels. So I connect the company to them, and they start to get deeper inside the issue. So if you have this kind of question, you can come to Apex, and if you have at least like a region that you can connect, we can help you through that. Does that make sense? Okay.
Well, anyway, the basic material, manuals and everything is on the Abra Games website and Brazil Games website. We have law firms that are partners. So once you get to that point, let us know. But everything is online. You go there, materials, and you're going to see a lot of manuals.
Thank you. 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed the event. It's only beginning. And let's give a hand to the gringo.